Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. And in a small change to my regular format in this video, I want to take you through how I organize my writing application, which is called Ulysses. Now, Ulysses probably could be considered as a note-taking app, but I've always used it, certainly for the last 8 years, 5 to 8 years, for writing my short form articles. Now, what that means is my blog posts and my newsletters that I write every week. So I write 2 newsletters a week, I write a podcast script, and I write a blog post. So there's a number of items that I write each week, and I have a workflow that I use in Ulysses. Now, the reason I want to explain this to you is because if you ever watch a skilled craftsperson doing their work, they don't just have one screwdriver or one type of tool for doing their work. They have multiple tools for doing their work. And the reason for that is each tool is very good at a particular type of work. Now, in my case, sure, I could write my blog posts and newsletters in Apple Notes or Evernote, or even in Microsoft Word or Apple's Pages. And sure, I could do that. But I've always preferred a much simpler writing tool, something that's going to allow me to be a lot less distracted. And the way I have Ulysses set up is so that I have a dark background and it's in full screen mode, and I remove all the sidebars, so I've just got my writing in front of me. And for me, it's one of the most relaxing places I can be. I love writing. It's one of my favorite parts of the work that I do, and I just love that simplicity of having everything there. Now, with something like Ulysses, you can use full-blown Markdown. But many people out there don't really understand how Markdown works. Now, if you're in the computer software world, Markdown is probably one of the simplest forms of formatting text to you. But for somebody like me who doesn't have any background in computer software, Markdown is just a complicated mess. And I just prefer the old style, where I highlight something and I can press the button B on my keyboard and it's bolded. I mean, I do know that asterisk, I believe, is bolding, and I know that you can set up like links to articles and so on and so forth. Sure, if that's what you like to do, Ulysses will let you do that. But also, Ulysses will let you do things in a more traditional way for somebody who's less logically programmed, if you like, to be able to work something like Markdown. And that's the key. I've been using Ulysses for such a long time now that it just makes sense to me to write in here. And when people question me saying, well, why don't you write in Word, or why don't you write in Pages or Evernote or Apple Notes? I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, Ulysses is a dedicated writing tool. And I think that's the key to me, is that it's a dedicated writing tool. It's designed for writing. It's equally with Evernote introducing tasks last year. I had a lot of emails and questions coming at me saying, will Evernote replace Todoist? Well, no, it won't replace Todoist, because Evernote is first and foremost a note-taking app, and it's brilliant at taking notes. It's less good at being a task manager. Sure, it can do it now. It can do very basic task management features, and that's great if that's all you want is a basic task manager. But the way that I like to organize my task manager means that something like Todoist, which is my task manager of choice, does that way better. The programmers, the developers at Todoist are focused on giving me the best experience they can give me of managing my tasks. Evernote hopefully focus on giving me the best experience at managing my notes. And they've done a fantastic job with that over the last 6 months. It's just a really solid note-taking app. And I think really my key message here today for you is use the tools for what they're designed to be used for. Don't try and get tools to do things that they weren't originally designed to do, because that's just going to mean that you're going to have to hack it. And when you're hacking something, it means that you're adding extra layers of complexity that inevitably will break down. And that's not what you want with your productivity tools. Your productivity tools need to just work. They disappear into the background and only become relevant when you need to look at it and see, what do I need to do next? Now, for those of you who are really interested, this is how I have my Ulysses set up. So I have the inbox. Now this is a default. Inbox is default because it's just given to you, and you can then use something like drafts, which is occasionally what I do, to throw in ideas directly into my Ulysses inbox. Now down next underneath my inbox I have my drafts. Now drafts is the draft articles that I've written for that week, and as I mentioned, there are a number of articles that I will write each week. There's a blog post, a podcast script, 2 newsletters. So there's 4 pieces before I even get started that I'm going to get into my drafts. And it's great because I keep them there all week, and then on the following week when I start writing the next blog post, I will then archive these into my published area. And this is organized by my blog posts, podcast scripts, and so on. And as you can see, I have I have every single podcast script I have written in Ulysses. I have every blog post that I have written in Ulysses. I was working it out the other day that I have probably over 2 million words inside Ulysses, which is backed up into my iCloud, so I have instant access to it from my iPhone, my iPad, or my computer. And it just works. It's never let me down. So if I'm sat in the car waiting for my wife, which I often have to do, I can just open up Ulysses on my phone and I can continue writing. Okay, it's not the easiest experience writing on a phone's keyboard, but it is possible. And I do remember when I was writing, first writing in Ulysses many years ago, I was on a bus and then a subway for an hour every single morning. I would start my blog post from the bus and the train simply because it was, what else would I do? I could procrastinate, I could read the news, which is always depressing. So I just got on and wrote on a Monday morning. I loved it. It was great fun. And Ulysses gave me that power to do it. And sure, I do have Microsoft Word and Pages and Evernote and everything else on my phone. But when it comes to writing, it's just the experience I have with Ulysses that just makes it such a wonderful tool to use for my writing. And I can't imagine using it for anything else. Now, just for those of you who are curious about book writing, I do use a different application for writing my books, and that application is called Scrivener. Now, the main reason why is Scrivener is a designed application specifically for writing scripts and books. Ulysses is for writing in general. And for me, it's perfect for that short form writing, things under, say, 5,000 words. But a book is 100,000 words with multiple different chapters and subheadings, and Scrivener just organizes that so much better, and I can move chapters around and organize the book. And then when the book is finished, I can compile it, as Scrivener calls it, into whatever format the publisher is asking for. It just makes my life so much simpler. And speaking of which, in Ulysses, when I've finished writing whatever it is I want to write, I can go into the export function. I can export it to my blog, which is on Medium and also on my website. And or with the newsletters, I can export it by copy and paste it in a rich text format so that all my links and everything come through into the newsletter when I paste it. So the main point of this video is to really encourage you to try not to limit yourself to a specific tool and then try and make it work to do things it wasn't originally designed to do. You know, a Ferrari is great on an expressway or an autobahn. You know, that's its life. That's where it works in its environment. But you take it off-road and you're going to be bottoming it out and it's going to get stuck and you're going to do a lot of damage to the Ferrari. Equally, if you buy a Range Rover, the beautiful Range Rover, that environment, its perfect environment, is out in the countryside, going off terrain and being on the road. It's a multi-purpose vehicle, unlike a sports car, which is a single-purpose vehicle. You're not going to get your whole family into a Ferrari. It's generally a two-seater. I know they do four-seaters now, but it's generally a two-seater, and it's there for speed, and the ride quality is not that much fun in a sports car because every bump you are going to feel. But that's okay because that's what it's designed to do. And a sport utility vehicle, in my Range Rover, that car will go anywhere within its limitations, and so it's got a purpose. Equally, a sports car has a purpose. And I think in terms of like applications that we're using, each one has a specific purpose, and I use it for specific types of work. So Ulysses is for my short form writing, Todoist is for my task management, and Evernote is for collecting all my notes and ideas and dragging and dropping stuff in there. I love playing with Evernote in that way. I don't think I would really enjoy writing blog posts and stuff because there's just too many distractions in Evernote. It's not designed to be your main writing form. But as I say, it will do it if that's the way you prefer to do it. But I firmly believe that you use the tools that they were designed to do. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. And it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.